James, that's the nicest your hands I've ever smelled. Folks. We're not trying to even be funny with that. There, we're genuinely in a strange state, especially around the world. We have been putting our own practices into play here at GRASSMEN among our staff and any visitors. And we're one of the very fortunate few that bought, or one of the very fortunate businesses that just happened to keep a small supply of hand sanitizers, and we do use them. But because we're not going out actively out on the fields and into cabs for interviews at the minute, just under the current state of affairs, we've just been chatting to one or two guys in a sort of controlled environment. So we've asked James over, and we asked him a few questions. So how is business? How things is going? Anything else, Gary?
No, that's really it.
That's really it. So we understand that people are used to a lot of our videos, being full of action and stuff, but the weather has been horrendous. I mean, coronavirus, let's just park it over here for a little bit of time. James, when have you last come through weather as prolonged and as horrible?
2017.
Okay, not that long ago then.
A long time since this time of year. Spring's usually good. Usually, maybe a wet February, you get good March. But
we're sitting here middle of March, and the slurry ban has been lifted month and a half, and realistically speaking,
I shouldn't be sitting here usually.
No.
And the spring is bad in 17, James?
17 spring, no, it wasn't too bad. It started May, I suppose. But
I'll be chatting to you a good bit, and I know you've been out with, I mean, you had time even to go with us to when we visited McLean's, and that's not normal.
No, it's not. It's just the year it's been, and that's just Ireland's slower.
Well, I mean, at this stage in March, what would you normally be doing? I understand slurry would be very busy.
Slurry would be completely mental at that stage, and we're starting to plough. You'll be starting to sow. You'll be spreading dung. You'll be thinking about maybe grass seed. No ones will be thinking.
But how much of that have you realistically got to do?
No, to do a whole lot of it to do. We've done none. Well, we spread bits of slurry. We took the dung spreader out just to try it there. We've done half a dozen loads to make sure it's working all right.
You have bought a new K2.
Yeah.
But your new K2 is different a little bit.
Wee bit, aye.
Yours is special.
Aye, sure, they're all special.
Did you realise you'd got a special K2?
I heard about it, aye.
Yeah, well, they were talking about it at the K2.
I heard about it at the
K2 factory. We were like, we know him.
What bother's he been giving you?
You have a sprung drawbar in yours,
yeah.
and you have mud guards.
Yeah.
Which is not that, and it's blue.
Yeah. Well, usually Richard brings them in blue, so colours he orders. So you can get them every colour you want it. If you want it in green, pink, or whatever. So
you've been with the K2 brand a long time, though. You were actually the first.
Well, I mean, the first that Richard sold, the very first.
Yeah.
2002, maybe one. So I think.
It gave trouble in the first week. Richard Irwin told me this,
yep.
And you wondered, what have I done?
No, Richard's a real good fella, and
he got it sorted.
He got it sorted.
And never looked back.
Never looked back, no. And the second, that's our third spreader now in that time, and the second one done the same, was done as well as the first one, so it did. So.
But you've stepped up this time.
I stepped up a wee bit bigger, different beaters on it or something.
Yeah.
So.
Yep, stronger beaters and bigger.
Bigger, aye. A wee fraction bigger now, and sprung drawbar too. So.
That'll be a good bit.
Should be comfy along the road now, holding well now. So.
Yeah.
And ultimately your slurry system, James, is just the same as we have been, as we've been out before. I mean, you're still spreading with your 145.
Spread met, and then we got a new 145.
I understand.
You've
you have 3 new 145s, let's be honest. Yeah. All kitted with Starfire. You're going, the big change that you have made in changing your 145s are still all
a lot of steer. They're all the same track, except they're 42-inch wheels on them, and
you've stepped up to the bigger wheels, but they're all coming with auto guidance, which you never had before.
I only ever had the one before, and when you get used to working it, I think it's the way forward. Even just surprising doing wee things you think you wouldn't use it for.
But the gearbox selection is
gear lever.
Still on the gear lever.
Yeah.
I suppose.
That's auto power, sorry.
No, auto power is the variable. It's auto quad.
Auto quad, aye, that's the one.
You have had
Direct drive.
have or had a direct drive.
Had a direct drive.
You didn't like it.
No, I didn't like it either.
Isn't it? But you know, it's
no, I maybe odd the ways I'm rare being, but
Like a lever.
I like the lever now, so I do. But no, the men like the direct drive. Good enough gearbox for its job. For road work, I just don't know if it's we're in the field, it was great now for your baling and that kind of thing. But truthfully, second-hand value would be my. But you're getting no more money for it. If you're buying an iron, you're getting extra money for a drive.
You're paying more for it, but you're not getting any more for it in the second-hand value, and you're not the first person to say that to us. What else has been happening? I mean, you know, everything else look as much of a muchness. I know you're moving on. You've upgraded 3 of your tractors. Last year you upgraded to the second Fusion.
I bought an R Fusion there that last August, was it?
Yeah.
I an R Fusion 3 Plus.
Because the pressure was on.
Pressure's really on.
A mate got called in.
One night in quick hurry.
We do we drive. We went and gathered it up in Eva Rose here. Did they have a picture of that before? I don't know. But we went and gathered it up one night, and you said to me ever since you don't know how you managed to do it with one.
I couldn't. Don't know how we done it. To tell you the truth, the machine was being overworked, and then you were pushing too much, and then you're having problems then.
But harvester wise, James, you've completed season number 2 with your 88. You still in love with it?
Oh, I definitely.
Every time we're in the cab with
every
you,
time you turn the key on, sure, you just listen to it. You open the door to listen a wee minute.
And coming forward into this silage season, everything's pretty much as was, James. You've got your new tractors, obviously, for carting. You're running the 88. You're going for the 3rd season.
Yeah, that's where.
But like no big M changes.
No.
Shovel changes.
No shovel, big M.
No, you had the class shovel out.
I could shovel now.
You enjoyed the class shovel. Your own Volvo was giving you a little bit of trouble.
Wee bit of problem, aye.
You're convinced you have it sorted at this stage.
Oh, we'll need to have.
But like your Volvo's done a lot, James.
It's done a lot of work now. It's a good shovel. Maybe next year we'll get a new one. Maybe.
And the truth of the matter is, you've been telling me and lots of people, like you went for drives and had a 435 out just to help you out. Like
it was pulling me out of hole.
Like the genuine truth was the Volvo lay down. It needed to get a bit of work done to it. It can happen, and you had a 435 out, and you had the class shovel out, and you personally preferred the class.
Aye, for the hydraulics. The JCB's a lovely machine too. She'll be quick at climbing, but she hasn't the hydraulics.
You said to me a little thing, because we had the shovels out years ago. That's supposed how we really got to meet you and realised how mad you actually were. Was that day we had a bit of fun down at one of your customers, 2 shovels all day, and you said to me you nearly would have preferred that shovel.
Yeah. I don't think she'd have spun out as quick. I think the newer one's nearly too much power. I don't know. The older one, I nearly preferred the older one. I thought she was a better
setup.
Aye.
Well, I can't answer that because I haven't spent any time in the new one.
I'm not rolling down the new one either. You know, they're nothing. A lovely machine. But
Cab's a big improvement.
Cab's brilliant on her. So as now.
Yeah.
If I never drove a Volvo, you'd think she's serious.
Yeah.
You still, if you were buying tomorrow, if you were forced to change it as a Volvo, you'd be looking to buy.
A Volvo.
What would you buy then?
Another 90.
Another 90.
Aye.
I know there is a good one.
That'll be the same as, well, there's a newer one again since McKnight's, hasn't there?
Is there? I don't know.
I think there is. Yeah.
They talked
That's
about a
a lovely
torque lock
machine.
or something.
Aye. Yeah, I think they went the same
I honestly don't know if you need a torque lock for the road.
You got to look at McKnight's.
I had a drive McKnight's. I drove a 435. Another friend of mine one night, I took my 2-minute drive with a shovel, and we went and drove the 435. We never said anything along the road. I said, that's the right shovel. We never talked much. We did talk, but we never.
Yeah.
And we drove to McKnight's yard, and they drove the Volvo around the yard, and he says, you know the one to buy.
Aye, Gavin's. His is a lovely shovel.
Oh, brilliant. Serious.
Lovely big grape, everything. It's just a nice.
And that steering thing, if you could get onto it, you know,
I pushed a few loads there one day, and it's weird at the start, but I was getting onto it, and I don't think you would go back if you were used to it.
I think if you were used to it.
Yeah.
The only fault I would say of the Volvos, she just needs quicker in reverse. Doesn't need any quicker any other way, just quicker in reverse off the side.
What else would you expect out of him?
No one's quick enough.
No one's quick enough for him. Who's going in the harvester then? What's the plan this year? So
Oh, let you be the boss, bud.
you think he'll get wheeled out? Will he have his hedges all cut by that stage?
I think this year he's actually got on well with the Hedges. The two of them's he's got a apprenticeship now with him all the time. Samuel there, we call him Mini DJ. So
Simon's getting on really well at the
it's
hedges.
very tidy.
There's no question about that.
He's
James,
pleased
something I want to bring up when we're on camera, right? Now, your father and I had a great debate around the table one night, and you were involved. And I know nothing about hedge cutting.
For me either.
So, this is a complete nothing but hedge cutting.
The other
But the
race
first thing we actually did with him clean bouncing. First thing DJ does when he gets a hedge cutter is he takes the roller off the back. I can't get into the full story, I don't think, but he takes the roller
First
off.
sight comes off, right?
First thing comes off. Now, it's sold with a roller on, so you would imagine it has a purpose.
And it goes home with a brand new roller.
And it leaves with a brand new roller. And I asked the question, why? But he maintains he does that so that whenever he's come back, he cuts forward, cuts back, and cuts forward again.
That means there when the roller hits, if the roller's on, it hits say the wee tails. The roller hit the wee bit and it spring down. The other way it comes on, he cleans it off, leaves it tidy.
But a roller, obviously, if there's a thick hedge, helps to control the.
Leave it tidy, you control it with your levers.
Yeah.
Can't drive her.
And he's on a brand new hedge cutter. I know we have videoed him cutting hedges before, and I know it's with his old hedge cutter. And I know we have plenty of footage of it, but he's got a brand new hedge cutter.
With levers.
And she comes away up, doesn't she?
Actually, a forward reach.
She's forward reach. You showed me her one day I was out.
No, and he's actually kept his same lever control box that he has in 95 because the others were too much play in them when they put new cables into them. And it's a shorter stroke.
You think that wee FH Volvo, like lift height, is like something you'd get off an Amstrad Commodore 64 type thing? Same difference.
See a thing.
Brand new hedge cutter with all the bells and whistles on it and these big knobs of things. It's like.
But it has a whole. I think they're them three there, and then there another set another. You got to either do that, but that's for his other.
It's like a piano.
Oh, it is like. But here, that's the way he's happy.
Well, he's the only boy I know did 25 hours in one day.
That's right.
He worked through his lunch hour. You reckon he deserved 25 hours pay? That'd be right, James.
That'd be right. The lever's quicker. He maintains, and he is right what he says. And Samuel will even tell you when you're cutting with electric, if you come, say, to a post there.
Now, you mean electric, you mean one joystick?
We joystick. When you come to it, he can come to the post there, and he comes along at that, and he just lifts and drives on. He says he doesn't stick his foot in the clutch. The other way, you're howling in the clutch, the waiting on her.
There's a delay.
Oh, there's a delay, aye.
See, if you had the auto power, you just put your foot in the brake.
You wonder what the auto part of the hedge car way else suddenly.
What else have you changed? You changed one tanker.
I bought another tanker straight.
But not a big tanker.
No, 2500.
And so all that's running the same. I mean, everyone's basically the same. You've been busy with obviously the crushing. Really and truly, the crushing's what kept you going this winter. Is that
Crusher, a wee bit slower at the start of this year, but I think every Brexit has affected a whole lot. I think, that's slowed too. And then I suppose that's coronavirus now. Everybody's scared,
Yep.
It's slow. It'll be slow now. It'll be slower than it was, but it'll come against it will.
You've your new Cabal Gold Digger. You like it, but you don't love it.
I don't find the problems there now, but
But,
I'd like the Digger, but just I don't know if it's any different than the Diggers really. This new mission things or whatever, but for the company, I can't say I'm bad the way they stood it.
But you're not wanting trouble in a brand new machine.
Not really, no.
To start. See, so your Diggers are fairly busy.
I'm right and busy now. The one of them's second one's not as busy as it was, just down to weather.
What did you think of the Hydromac?
That's a lovely Digger too now, so it was.
You were enjoying yourself.
I enjoyed myself that day, aye.
The way we had her out. You thought she'd great reach.
Oh, aye, powerful reach. And she's lovely thing to drive. Maybe if they set the levers up to sit you,
I think that can be done.
I know it can,
Yeah.
but
Was that not what they did in your new Cabal?
did
though?
I?
So you-
They came out and they said to them the driver for 3 days, and the driver, and they said, what way do you want her to speed it up to suit yourself? And
I
they
remember the laptop. And
just set her whatever way you want.
Yeah. It's
then
tailored then to the driver.
Yep. And then told them, driver, see what you think, and then if you want that changed. Well, the Cabalto's a good digger now. You just that
lovely. It's a lovely for a zero tail swing digger. It's a good cab on it.
Yep.
And it is very smooth, but it's just disappointing, a little bit of trouble.
it can't say much for the service I
No.
got. Like,
No, and the thing about it is, what has given what the little bit of trouble has sort of been in the engine, but the reality is it's the same engine nearly in a whole pile of diggers
and
across
case
different.
and attaching all the
So
same,
it's-
you know. So
You're
it's-
not going to get away from it.
No.
No. It's not a Cabalto specific problem. It's just, So in them situations, that's what it comes down to. Back up. Aye, because I remember you were actually with me one evening, and she'd give you bother, and you were leaving here late, like at maybe 11 o'clock at night, and the fella had just arrived to look at it. That's how I know there was a problem.
He
with
stayed
it,
at 4 in the morning, and he came back up another night, and he looked at her again, and then they decided to replace the engine, and they left her on a Friday night at 5:30, on a lovely Scania with a low loader, and had her back in our yard for 11 o'clock.
Did he
on
up your
Saturday
lane,
night.
did he?
He did, aye.
You had to widen your lane,
I'd let him in.
for I wouldn't get in.
You said that, man tell you couldn't get in there.
And then he sends me a picture the next day of 4X on it, on a double drive. I'm not going to do that. Here, I know a boy tried to get it after he did widen it, and he still had the reverse boat.
That's right.
He overcooked it, took it too far.
Oh, you're joking.
Oh. He'll know who he is if he's watching this. All right, Willie.
And good down out too.
Oh, I'm good down out. Oh, James.
He was talking to his dad at the time.
Yeah. But everyone else is running
Sorry,
pretty
Wally.
much. No, he's not really. Sorry, Wally. Everyone else is running pretty much.
Much the same, aye.
Not many big changes.
Well, we bought a fertiliser solar then.
Oh, yeah, so that's pretty nice. But you haven't, as we speak, it's raining. I can hear it raining. Literally, about a week or 10 days ago, at this stage, you were literally doing a trial just to get it set up.
Yeah.
And we just nipped out just to see it getting set up. I mean, it was literally the first ever
First run it was out. Aye.
bag of fertiliser through it to get it set up. But we just wanted to physically eyeball it and see it. But since then, the weather hasn't been, you haven't been able to get
No.
it out. But you bought a new salty solar. It's a salty solar.
Salty solar, aye. 40 something, I don't know.
Through demand for that service.
With a
James,
lot
or
of
what?
customers, I get Eddie to do bits and pieces for us, and then there are more and more boys who's at us.
You find more boys aren't sowing their own fertiliser anymore.
I suppose
they
that's
just
GPS thing, or whatever,
more
I suppose
efficient.
more efficient. Or
price it too. You don't want to be wasting
That's
it.
right.
Like,
Price of the solar, you need to be getting it working.
what? That's the problem.
It used to be a solar was a wee item, a couple of grand, boy,
But
a
then
wee
I suppose
spinner.
it's all relative how the product's going through it.
That's
That,
right.
You know, the expense of the stuff. Like,
these sores are getting into 20 plus grand now. They are, with all
What are
this
you ta-
technology.
what are you talking about? A thing you reached out and had a bit of alkathene pipe to turn it off out the back window.
And then it still went.
We wagtail. Worked the very best. But 35.
Grass grew back then too.
But
Well, James, you see now moving forward right up into current times. Last year was a pretty decent enough year, but we've moved forward. We've hit an absolute sort of, it's just been announced literally. It's just been announced to the world, a pandemic. If you've ever heard tell of such of a thing, a pandemic, this COVID-19 coronavirus now, whilst we are nervous and people have started panic buying and people have, there's all sorts of talks, I think, in Italy. Obviously, I know as this aired, it's moving at such a fast pace. We understand that lots of new regulations may have been in place, but as we're chatting, Italy's in a lockdown, Spain's pretty much heading into, or almost at a lockdown. There's talk of France heading towards a lockdown. We're not really sure what we're 100% doing. Schools are going to close in the south and in the north initially they're for staying open, so we're a little bit unsure. We're worried. Are you worried? Like, I'm worried, you're worried. I know all our staff that work here at GRASSMEN we're genuinely a little bit worried, but
Well, that's directly affecting us.
of course.
Already, you
Of
know.
course,
So
when we're even like we're laughing, and this is what the joke at the start was. This is 3 sort of farmer type boys, like literally putting hand sanitizer cream in their hands. It's like that's just not the
not the
sort
dumb-
of stuff we do.
it's not the dumb thing, is it?
But we're doing it. You know what? You know, have you thought much about it? Has your mum and dad, have you chatted much, or what's?
I don't think we're out in the country all the time. If you're in among a lot of folk, but
Yeah.
if it comes to that, we have to shut down. We will have to shut down. But farm work has to go on.
Exactly.
You
A
have
lot
to
of it
eat.
can't stop.
No, some it can't stop. There is things you can do, like your crusher thing and your maybe your
Yeah.
diggers will maybe stop because
Building sites and
building
all that,
sites
yeah,
and things
yeah.
like that.
But if you have a customer with a legitimate need to spread slurry, he hasn't invested. A farmer hasn't invested in his own gear
No,
for spreading slurry. His tanks are full. It's an animal welfare issue.
you have to go and do it. And
But if you're in a lockdown house, but you're still business as normal.
business is normal, just slower with the weather there. The weather's our biggest problem. But
Yeah.
if that does come to lockdown, I suppose you have to do the necessaries.
Yeah.
So you will. And then it's your men too. You have to be a whole lot of caution.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. You know, you have men. Obviously, if you have a guy show symptoms and he has to go home and isolate or whatever, tractors are probably going to have to be deep cleaned.
Yeah.
You could end up with part of your workforce decommissioned
Well, you could
very
do.
quickly.
It could happen. And then where do you replace them? Because they'll be there too.
That's right.
You might get called up.
Step up to the plate, huh?
Well, we'll bring our own tractor.
That could
Oh,
be
really?
short-lived.
7, 8, 10. Aye, we might get a day's work.
When under pressure, I could ring you.
Oh, aye, you ring. Make sure it's whatever it is easy. I sit in the dodo pump. I could do that. I'm bound to be able to do that job. You see the whole butt walking bit and then opening up clips and all.
Away a quad.
I'm still not that
I
wild
feel
caring
like
about
it
it.
lousy.
I'm still not that wild caring about opening up the clip. I'll bring the Can-Am, don't worry. But it is business as usual. But I think what scares me the most, and I'm very open about this, is what scares me the most is, whilst there's not an awful lot of information coming from higher authorities at this moment in time, the UK's approach is about suppressing the curve, as they talk about, so the NHS can cope. I'm not here to question whether that's right or wrong, and I'm quite sure there'll be plenty of comments of all the wannabe keyboard warrior scientists out there. But my point is that approach is over a prolonged period of time. There's no question about that. That's moving it forward through the months, and that's where my fear is. How long is this? We don't know the answer to this, but my fear is this going to be something, as a business, we're scared of losing out and going to shows and stuff like that, because that's an integral
right,
part
yeah.
of our income. We're scared of missing out and things like that. And realistically speaking, is it even safe to go into a public gathering? I do believe within the very short term from this conversation, all of that will get shut down. But, at the minute it's still okay. We're okay, but I don't know. But I suppose you just keep the head down.
That's all you can do. Hope for the
Isolate.
best.
Where are you
Isolate.
going to isolate? Just in the cab of the tractor?
Aye. Lock the doors, sure.
But it'll probably come to a point, James, where, all joking aside, contractors like yourself is going to have to say no. Customers wanting ones to go a sail in the tractor and stuff. There maybe are some responsible measures will have to be put
You
in
have to
place,
be,
but
you have to sort of be sensible the whole thing. Maybe don't go in for your dinner and things like that.
Yeah.
Well, look, folks, we don't mean to be doom and gloom, but we are genuinely a little bit worried here. We do thank James. We know this is not our normal type of video. I say we do apologise for that again. It's not a budget cut, I promise. It's it's a genuine concern. We want to try and tackle and be responsible from our job. We have a fantastic team of people here at GRASSMEN, and we want to make sure we're doing the right thing and not asking people to put themselves at any type of risk. So appreciate your support. We don't know how long this is going to go on for, and See if anyone breaks in and steals our hand sanitizer. Okay, sure. See you later. Thank you.